Hello, everyone. Welcome to Friday's lesson, Further Thought. As we wrap up this week's study, we're invited to take a sobering look at history and at our own hearts. Ellen White paints a vivid picture in The Great Controversy of how corruption crept into the early Christian church, little by little, first quietly, then openly. Pagan customs, traditions, and the love of power began to reshape the church from the inside out. It's a reminder that spiritual compromise rarely begins with a bold declaration. It starts with small decisions, a little conformity here, a bit of ambition there. Before long, the simplicity of the gospel is traded for the complexity of worldly influence. When Constantine embraced Christianity, many thought it was the beginning of a new golden age. In a sense, it was the end of persecution. But it also opened the door for the church to gain political power, and with it came pride, corruption, and a tragic distortion of the gospel. Paganism didn't disappear, it merged with Christianity. The result was a form of religion that had the appearance of righteousness, but had not the power of godliness. This is not just a lesson in church history, it's a mirror for us today. The lesson closes with two searching questions. First, when God allowed his people to be exiled to Babylon, it was because they had become indistinguishable from the world. But even in exile, God used Gentile rulers like Nebuchadnezzar and Cyrus to fulfill his plans. What does that tell us about God's view of humanity? It tells us that God's mission is bigger than any one nation or church. He will use whoever is willing. Faithful people may be found in surprising places, and those outside our faith tradition can still be used by God to fulfill his purpose. That's both humbling and empowering. The second question is even more personal. We may not live in Babylon, but how much of Babylon lives in us? Have we too traded God's simplicity for the world's sophistication? Have we allowed our cultural values, entertainment, or politics to shape our faith more than Scripture? This week's challenge to us is to examine our hearts, not just our doctrines. Are we still walking with Christ in humility, or have we started to resemble the very kingdoms prophecy warns us about? The call of Revelation is clear. Come out of her, my people. That's not just about leaving false systems. It's about returning to a faith that is pure, simple, surrendered, and focused on Jesus alone. As we look forward to the establishment of God's everlasting kingdom, may we live in such a way that others see that kingdom already at work in us. Well, that's our nugget for the week. I hope that you'll take this opportunity to study more and visit your local Seventh-day Adventist church. God bless you.